Attention, stations on the network. Our broadcast will begin in 1 minute from my mark. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That was your 1 minute time check, stations.
On the Hawkeye Sports Network from Learfield. Live from View Rooftop at the Hilton Garden Inn in downtown Iowa City. This is Hawk Talk, brought to you by Steel. This fall, power up with Steel, a proud supporter of the Iowa Hawkeyes. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. U.S. Cellular, the official wireless partner of the Iowa Hawkeyes. U.S. Cellular, built for us. Iowa corn. You might think Iowa just grows corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa. Brought to you by Iowa's corn farmers of the Iowa Corn Growers Association and the Iowa Corn Promotion Board. Your Iowa John Deere dealers. John Deere loves to see the Hawkeyes do their thing, because if anyone can appreciate building a legacy, it's Deere. Also brought to you by your local Ford dealers. University of Iowa Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives. Lennox and your local Lennox home comfort specialist, made right here in Iowa since 1895. And by Mid-American Energy. Mid-American Energy is proud to deliver affordable, reliable energy to you all season long. This is Hawk Talk with Kirk Ferentz. Here's Gary Dolphin.
Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome to fall. Summer has said goodbye. It is now fall. It's homecoming week. It's Big Ten football, and it is the conference home opener for the Iowa Hawkeyes at Kinnick Stadium Saturday afternoon with the 11th ranked Indiana Hoosiers, the high-flying Indiana Hoosiers, coming to town. But for the next 90 minutes, it's Hawk Talk with Kirk Ferentz, and thanks so much for joining us along and across the Hawkeye Radio Network. On XM Satellite Radio, I'm Gary Dolphin. The Hawks escaped Rutgers last Friday, a wild 38-28 victory over the Scarlet Knights. And then the following night, Indiana roughed up the Illinois Fighting Illini down in Bloomington, 63-10. I don't think anybody saw that coming. Quarterback Fernando Mendoza of the Hoosiers has become now one of the top 3 or 4 leading Heisman Trophy candidates. Mendoza, who threw for 3,000 yards a year ago out at California, completed 21 of 23 passes for 267 yards and a career-high 5 touchdown throws. This guy's thrown 10 touchdown passes in the last 2 weeks. How accurate has he been? He is 40 of 43 in the last 2 games. 40 of 43. The Hoosiers ran, though, for 312 yards behind Roman Hemby and Kalen Black. Back to the passing game, Mendoza's got a lot of options. Omar Cooper and Elijah Surratt have 10 touchdown grabs between them and 43 receptions between the two. Defensively, the linebackers are the strength of the Hoosier D, and they do come at you from all directions. Watching that game and listening into our buddy Don Fisher on the Hoosier Radio Network last week, they blitz a lot. I mean, they'll take chances. They'll come at you and try and put some pressure, as they did on Luke Altmaier a week ago, and will try and do on Mark Granowski coming up Saturday afternoon. The Hawkeyes, certainly their best overall performance of the first month of the season. They pulled away from a 21-all halftime tie made the adjustments necessary and needed at halftime at the intermission, and they limited Rutgers to just one second-half score. And as we've seen so many times down through the years under Phil Parker's reign, this guy is a genius at making halftime adjustments, and his guys really buy in. Offensively, quarterback Mark Granowski, who's settling in week by week, he rushed for 3 touchdowns. And over his last 2 games now, Mark has completed 28 passes to go with a lot of outstanding rushing attempts. He's completed 28 passes, completed 42 attempts. That's a 67% completion ratio with 365 yards and a pair of touchdowns. He's rushed for 4 scores. The Hawkeye defense coming into the game this week is 7th nationally against the run. They're 13th in total defense and giving up just 14 points a game. So that sets the stage for what we expect to see as we break down Iowa, Indiana coming up Saturday afternoon. I guess I should mention special teams. The Big Ten Special Teams Player of the Week again is Caden Weegan. He's number 1 in the country in combined kick and punt returns, and lots of recognition coming his way after he took the opening kick last Friday night and raced 102 yards. He was 2 yards deep in the end zone at least. And, man, does he have not only a phenomenal change of direction, but when he wants to turn on the afterburners, it's see you later. On this kick here that you're seeing, those that are viewing KCRG Channel 9.2, he had just the punter to beat from midfield on. That's how fast he got by the kick coverage. So Caden Weegan has been a phenomenal plus, not only on special teams, but on offense. He's got a receiving touchdown. He's got a jet sweep rushing touchdown. He's got a punt return for a touchdown, and now he has a kick return for a touchdown. So there you have it, the 4-0 Indiana Hoosiers under second-year head coach Kirk Ferentz, who came in from James Madison at the FCS level and has really stood the Big Ten on its collective ear in his first 2 years. The Hawkeyes are 3-1. It's a 2:30 kickoff at Kinnick Stadium on Saturday. It's homecoming. Man, Kinnick will be swaying with 70,000 folks roaring, and our pregame coverage will start at 12:30 here on the Hawkeye Radio Network. And how about the weather forecast? It calls for 82 degrees and sunshine. That is a Grant Wood portrait, if ever we'll see one. All right, quarterback Mark Granowski has some thoughts on Indiana as a whole.
Yeah, it's going to be an awesome opportunity to have a ranked opponent coming into Kinnick. It's going to be a tough game, obviously. They're a great team. They showed it last week how good they can play, the potential that team has. And they do a lot of things on defense as well. They like to throw a lot of different things at us. So we're just going to have to keep our knees bent and be ready to go.
Keep your knees bent and ready to go. What do you see with that Indiana defense quarterback?
Yeah, I mean, they've had a couple turnovers that they've gotten out there, and a lot of teams haven't been able to move the ball that greatly on them, and they just run a ton of different things. They try to disguise a lot. They try to throw a bunch of different coverages at you, just trying to confuse the offense, try to confuse the quarterback. So we're trying to do a lot just in the film room, having to watch a lot and have a bunch of different looks out in the practice field, and it's helping a lot to just see a bunch of different looks to understand what we could possibly be getting on different plays. And it's going to just allow me to play faster on Saturday.
Quarterback Mark Granowski, after 4 weeks, he is really looking good and much more comfortable in his role. On the defensive side of things for the Hawkeyes, Jackson Rexroth, he belly flopped for that interception late in the game that really turned the tide off the bull rush and the deflection, or the bull rush on the quarterback by Max Llewellyn. Max made a great play, and the ball went whirly-birding up in the air, and Jackson Rexroth was right there for the grab. We'll hear from Jackson a little bit later on, a couple minutes worth of tape from Jackson Rexroth. He talked with our Hawkeye pregame host, first-hour host, Matt Randazzo, earlier in the week, and we'll hear from Jackson about that interception and about the Iowa defense and how it's playing on balance in general. As we are each and every Wednesday night from 6:30 until 8 o'clock, we're at View Rooftop in the Hilton Garden Inn, downtown Iowa City. We got a great crowd tonight. Of course, it's homecoming week. Got a lot of students here tonight. There's around town treasure hunts and games being played and raffles going on from stop to stop downtown. It's great that the Iowa City community envelops homecoming week like the student body does and the campus does. But we're here every Wednesday night for Hawk Talk at View Rooftop. Stop by on football Saturdays if you choose. If you're not going to the game, View Rooftop can give you a great experience. You can immerse yourself in an invigorating environment and a comfortable contemporary indoor and outdoor seating. Many high-definition televisions for watching the game day. For watching the game, they have game day specials to go with that, and live music every game day. Enjoy the camaraderie and celebrate with a toast at View Rooftop at the Hilton Garden Inn here in downtown Iowa City. Here's a number to call for reservations: 319-519-4650. 319-519-4650. All right, we'll take our first break. First, I should tell you, Coach would happily take your tweets or your Facebook posts or your text messages, Facebook, email. We've got all kinds of avenues and ways you can reach out to Coach Ferentz tonight and every Wednesday for Hawk Talk with your questions or comments on Iowa football. On Twitter, it's at Gary Dolphin. Just reach out at Gary Dolphin on Twitter or X. Facebook, it's facebook.com/Voice of the Hawks. The U.S. Cellular text line is open at 319-853-8344. 319-853-8344. Or email us your question to HawkTalk at HawkeyeRadioNetwork.com. HawkTalk at HawkeyeRadioNetwork.com. We appreciate KCRG 9.2. Aaron, Deke, and Mike here again tonight. They're beaming our show around eastern and central Iowa on KCRG 9.2. We're also on the official Iowa Hawkeyes YouTube page. So I got to watch it. My collar straight here. Do I look good, Corey? Okay. Our engineer producer is Corey Sheets. I'm Gary Dolphin. Coach Ferentz will be here in about 20-25 minutes. I should mention we're available to take your questions from the live audience here, too. If you'd like to come up and ask Coach a question, just come up, see me or see Corey. We'll jot that question down or comment and ask Coach as we move through the evening. All right, Hawk Talk from View Rooftop is brought to you by Iowa Corn. And throughout the Iowa Corn Cy-Hawk series, Iowa Corn promotes honest, hard-working values that are uniquely Iowan. On behalf of Iowa's corn farmers, a salute to all athletes for their hard work and determination to be the best both on and off the field. Just like our top athletes, our state leads the nation in corn and ethanol production. Go to iowacorn.org, iowacorn.org, and learn how corn grows Iowa. Hi to Craig Floss and all the crew at Iowa Corn in Des Moines and Ankeny tonight, or in Johnston, not Ankeny, Johnston. Hi to Iowa Corn. That's the main message. All right, we'll come right back. When we return, we've got a special Hawkeye coach as a guest. We're going to talk a little golf. After all, the Ryder Cup is a little bit later on this week, and I know she's got a thought or two on that. This is Hawk Talk with Coach Ferentz from Learfield and View Rooftop.
Fall's the season for game plans and for powering through your to-do list with Steel. Whether you're mulching leaves or trimming back before winter, Steel tools help you finish strong. Trusted by pros, built for you. Steel, proud supporter of the Iowa Hawkeyes.
At MidAmerican Energy, our 1.6 million customers depend on our energy 24/7. That's why we work 24/7 to deliver the safe, reliable energy you need. To keep our 99.9% reliability record, we're enhancing our technology, improving resiliency, and investing in critical infrastructure. We're generating power from all available resources to cover any increases in demand. And we're innovating to ensure you always have the energy you need. MidAmerican Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
We love it when the Hawkeyes do their thing, because if there's anyone who can appreciate building a legacy, it's John Deere. We've been growing our team since 1837, recruiting the best thinkers, doers, and makers to craft innovations that outpace the competition. Because whether it's cultivating the earth with a tractor or reshaping it with a 40-ton excavator, the machines we build are building America. Nothing runs like a Deere.
How do you become America's best-selling brand? Let's break it down. Innovative tech means smarter and safer driving. Intelligent all-wheel drive will keep you ready for anything. And built Ford tough trucks will always get the job done. Plus, come into your local Ford store today and get super low APR financing, big cash back, and great lease offers on Ford's full line of cars, trucks, and SUVs. That's Ford, and that's how you become America's best-selling brand. Sales claim based on calendar year sales.
Hey Hawkeyes, this is Coach Ferentz. We're excited about the football season. Iowa Corn is pumped up for their season and their partnership with the Hawkeyes. When you drive to the game, support Iowa's corn farmers by selecting unleaded 88 at the pump. It's a fuel choice that's cheaper, homegrown, and better for the planet. It's worth the hype. Get pumped up with unleaded 88. Let's go Hawks.
Entertain your clients or employees each home game in Hawkeye Village. Presented by Navigate Wellbeing Solutions. Packages include game tickets and catered food and beverage. Visit HawkeyeSports.com for more details. As a proud partner of Hawkeye football, Navigate Wellbeing Solutions is an employee engagement company helping organizations create more health and happiness in the communities they serve. Learn more at navigatewell.com.
Better math.
Hey, welcome back to Hawk Talk, live from View Rooftop in the Hilton Garden Inn. Thank you all for being here again tonight and each and every week. The Hawkeyes 3-1 take on 11th ranked Indiana at 4-0, and the joint should be jumping on Saturday afternoon over at Kinnick. It always is. Sold out house of 70,000, and we'll kick off at 2:30 with our pregame coverage at 12:30. This kind of weather, it's golfing weather. You know, typically here in Iowa, we can golf right up through October, maybe early November if the winds aren't howling too bad. And the Hawkeye women's golf team is cranking up for, of course, a big spring, but they have a nice fall schedule as well. And it's an honor and a pleasure, as always, to welcome Megan Menzel here to the microphone. Coach, good to see you. I think this is year 14 or 15 for you.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I know. We were just talking about that. Goes by pretty fast.
Coaches noticeably age with every gut-wrenching season. You don't.
Oh,
what's your secret?
I appreciate that. I need to hear that probably for sure. But you do look back at pictures, you're like, oh, you definitely looked younger.
We won't go back there and take a look at that. But before we talk about the Hawks, I'm driving down here today, and I knew you were our guest. We've had you lined up for a few days. I'm thinking, it's Ryder Cup week.
It is.
Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy. You've got Keegan Bradley and Luke Donald, the team captains. And, time is moving on. I remember when Keegan and Luke were just Luke Donald played at Northwestern.
Yes.
Came over here from England. And, of course, what a year Keegan Bradley at 44 or late 30s, early 40s, age-wise, has had this season. And, of course, a lot of the rumors were he might name himself to the team. I'm glad he didn't.
Yeah.
You know, the coaching responsibility in something like that. I mean, this is a international, the whole world is watching. There's hundreds of millions of golfers all over the world, and regardless of who's playing who, this is mono versus mono. This is something. It's the Solheim Cup is the same way for the ladies. And what do you think about this line? I mean, they're two top to bottom. I don't know that I've ever seen two lineups 1 through 12 that are this strong.
Well, it's always so exciting, and I think they're creating, just a lot of drama around it, which is great. I think it's just great for golf. It grows the game. It brings in young people and everybody alike. So I know our team is really looking forward to it. We definitely have a little bit of rivalry. We have some international players on our team, and they always kind of side with that, whether they're from Europe, on that side or not. But they love to bring that, and we'll definitely have a Ryder Cup competition at practice tomorrow, and we always try to follow that and have it on. And you learn a lot from watching just the whole dynamics, but there's a lot going on behind the scenes and the matchups, and it's certainly very exciting.
Yeah, I got a hunch it's going to be close when it comes down to the singles matches on Sunday afternoon. Have you ever been to Bethpage Black in Long Island?
I haven't, but we had one of our players who actually got to work there a couple summers ago, and so she really enjoyed it and would spoke very highly about it and would get to play on Mondays, and it really said it was a special place. But I've never been there.
It's a public golf course. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah.
When the Hawkeyes
phenomenal.
were in the 2001 NCAA basketball tournament, we played on Long Island at the home of the New York Islanders, the arena there, and we had a really good year that year. That was, trying to remember, Duez Henderson, and it was Dean Oliver, I believe, was on that team. Anyway, the Hawkeyes won the first game, defeating Creighton, got beat by eventual national champion Kentucky on Sunday afternoon. But Saturday, we're looking for something to do. So we're driving around. We drive by the front gate of this place. I go, Bethpage Black? Here was like 6 blocks from our hotel.
Yes.
So we drove in, couldn't play. It was a weekend, and they were full of tee times. Not that we were going to play golf, but it was in the middle of March. And what a phenomenal, just driving around through it, the little we could see. I mean, it's bermed, it's kind of a links design, but they got full-grown trees, water, sand. It is going to be a great challenge. And, you know, typically with the Ryder Cup or the Solheim Cup, if it's on your soil, you set the course up to favor your team, correct?
Correct, yes. Yeah, I mean, even, hosting this week for us, you're thinking about that a lot and trying to put your team in a favorable position and, looking at hole locations and yardage, and they're doing the same for sure, certainly favoring their players and wanting to make them as comfortable as they possibly can out there.
Best luck to the Americans. Scotty Scheffler, I mean, I don't have the rosters in front of me, but every one of them is a world-class player. I'm happy for the newcomers like Russell Henley, Ben Griffin, guys that have never experienced this. And, of course, our own Zach Johnson was the captain a couple years ago when they were in Italy, and the Europeans prevailed. It's incredible to think it's been since 1993 when the Americans last won on European soil. Hopefully that changes in 2 years. Let's talk about the Hawks. Yes. Speaking of great golf outings, yes. Diane Thomasson, Hall of Fame coach for many, many years at Iowa. The Invitational at Finkbine is next Monday, the 29th, and Tuesday, the 30th. Last year, your team won the Diane Thomasson Invitational. First off, talk about Diane, but also about the event itself and how it evolved.
We obviously took a few years off after during the kind of the COVID period, and then the renovation of the clubhouse. So it's all kind of exciting, obviously, thinking about the renovation of Finkbine or the redesign. So we've been really fortunate to be back there and playing the last couple years. We've had great success playing at home, so we really enjoy that. It's a great atmosphere for us. As a golf team, you get one opportunity a year to play in Iowa City. So we're very excited about that. The players really look forward to it. We've got 4 seniors this year, so they're very excited about this opportunity to play and certainly try to have a great week at home in front of the Iowa City crowd.
You're going to celebrate those seniors Sunday during the practice round. Addie Mackey, do I have that right?
Addie Mackey.
Mackey, Riley Lewis, Shannon Vogler, and Caitlin Hanna.
Yes.
First off, to in this day of everybody moving and roster changes, it's great that you have that kind of number for young women who stuck around and stayed with the program for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, no, we have a great group of seniors this year. Very excited to honor them this weekend. They put in a lot of hard work over the years. They've done some great things. They've certainly put their names in our record book, and we're really looking forward to them doing some great things. It seems a little early to be doing kind of a senior celebration, but like I said, we only play at home one time, so they have a lot of family and friends, and we like to be able to honor them in a week when there's a lot of people around. So it's pretty special. And I didn't answer your question about Coach Thomasson. We're always excited. Obviously, it's been an honor to name the tournament after her. She is a legend around here. Still see her at Finkbine a lot, but obviously works really tirelessly every day for us in our programs and really all of our programs here at Iowa. So very proud to have her name on the tournament. We've got some alums coming back on Friday, so it's just really a special week. It's got a really good feeling for us, and we're super excited to
perfect
play
fit
out
for
there.
Homecoming, huh?
Yeah, it is.
How about your junior, Ximena Benitez? She's been solid for a couple years now. She paced the team at the recent Boilermaker Classic, tying for 18th place with a 221 total, rounds of 69, 78, 74. She tied her career low with a 3 under par 69 in round 1 of the Boilermaker Classic, and we know there's some great engineering architects that come out of Purdue and design their golf courses. Those are not easy courses.
Yeah, no, it was really, if we hadn't played at Purdue for a while, I think the last time we were there was like 2012, and we were there for a one-day kind of a duel with them. So it was really great to be back at their golf course. It is a really good test of golf. We got very fortunate. We got a couple of days of really nice weather, and it can be pretty windy over there. So that was nice to see the golf course under good conditions. Jimena just keeps coming along. She really is a great player. She had a great summer. She plays for the Peruvian national team. They had a lot of success this summer, and she's really brought that in and just really kind of climbing and brings a lot of, she's just very dedicated, works hard, and really is kind of pushing our team to kind of that next level.
You have another junior, Mara Peters. She led the team securing a 9th place finish. Best finish for you of her career. 54-hole total of 215. She had a 69 in there as well. This marks her second career top 10 finish. Where's Mara from? Tell us about her skills.
Yeah, Mara's from Pleasant Valley, so it's really nice to have a local local name. Comes from a great golfing family, and she's just a phenomenal athlete and really coming along. So Mara's really pushing. Wasn't even in our lineup as a freshman, to be quite honest. Came over, has just worked her tail off the last couple years. We knew she had it in her, and just continues to really elevate her game. I think we see a lot of really big things ahead of her in the future, and I think she'll leave here as a very decorated player here at the University of Iowa for sure.
What's the spring schedule? The Big Ten race look like next what, March, April, May?
Yeah.
Good weather and bad. Wow.
Yeah, well, it'll be the first time we're ever playing the Big Ten Championship in Los Angeles, so that'll be right. Kind of a new place for us. Obviously it's difficult. a lot of really great teams in the Big Ten, but I think we're really embracing the challenge. It's pushing us to really continue to recruit the best players that we possibly can. I think looking at the redesign of the golf course and obviously the addition of the clubhouse, everything that the Doodaws have done for us here. Is really helping us to kind of put Iowa golf on the map, and we're continuing to work really hard every day to bring in players that can continue to compete, and we're starting to see that in our current lineup, and really excited about the next couple of years. We've got some great recruits coming, so we're hoping to really put our names in that conversation and continue to grow the sport.
Coach Megan Menzel, Iowa Women's Golf, before I let you go, they are going to plow Finkbine under come November. Yes. And, they've done phenomenal improvements to the course over the last decade, 10 to 15 years. I think that caught a lot of people off guard, a little bit by surprise. What's the reasoning, if any, other than, what is going to be added to Finkbine that isn't already there?
Sure. I hope we love Finkbine. I think both Coach Stith and I, it's sad to kind of think about the last few rounds. I know our team, again, this is probably the last collegiate event that will be played out there, so we take a lot of pride in that too, and certainly makes it a little bit sweeter to walk around the course. But we really needed new irrigation out there, and so that pretty much meant that we were going to be tearing up pretty much every hole out there. And so when that was the case, and then the Doodaws were willing, we thought, gosh, there are some ways that we can make our golf course a little bit better for the modern game. We need more length. There's a couple greens, probably I should say, 6-7 greens where there's really only a couple hole locations that you can put out that are pretty legit. A lot of slope out there, and for the speed of the greens that everybody would like to see. So, and Scott Hoffman, he's got a great vision for the property. He's done some great golf courses, and I think it's going to be something that we're really proud of. I think it's going to have tee box selections that's going to fit every player's ability, and I think we're really going to be able to grow the game there at Finkbine for our community too.
Well, I would disagree when you say you need more length. My 17, 18 handicap
I do not need more length.
Is just fine.
Yes.
I mean, it's a great track as it is. Yeah. And tell me they're not going to change the island, the water hole.
They are not.
Okay,
from what the last
13.
plans that I've seen, I think that is still in the plans. So I know it changes a little bit, day to day, but I think everybody's going to feel good about that. So,
well, so where's the team going to play when it's under construction or redo?
We've been very fortunate. I mean, all the local golf courses, take us in a lot.
Yeah.
We play down at Blue Top a lot.
Blue
that will
Top,
probably be a home away from home.
Championship course right down the road.
Yeah, they've been so good to us, and we certainly appreciate that. Brown Deer's always, open their doors. Cedar Rapids Country Club. Pretty much every, we do our best to get around, and certainly love to play a lot of different golf courses.
Tell Sean McCarty hi out at Brown Deer, one of the great players in Iowa history, and Jeff Moore does a great job out at Finkbine.
Yes.
Megan Menzel, Iowa women's golf coach. Great to see you, Coach. Thanks for coming by tonight, and enjoy some of the tasty fare and beverages here at View Rooftop, will you?
I will. It's great to see all these Hawk fans.
Yeah.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks. Go Hawkeye golf. Hawkeye women's golf. Megan Menzel, our guest here on Hawk Talk with Coach Ferentz. Kirk will be here shortly. We're brought to you by Hawkeye Village. Entertain your friends, clients, or employees every home game in Hawkeye Village, presented by Navigate Wellbeing Solutions. Packages include game tickets and catered food and beverages. Visit HawkeyeSports.com for more details. A lot of home games left at Kinnick this season. We want you to be a part of Hawkeye Village. Navigate Wellbeing Solutions, an employee engagement company helping organizations create more health and happiness in the communities they serve. Learn more at navigatewellbeing.com. All right, we're going to talk football from here on out. Iowa, Indiana at 2:30 on Saturday afternoon. Our pregame coverage starts at 12:30. For now, we'll take a break. Well, actually, let's pause for station identification. I see we're at the top of the hour. A 10-second station identification break here on the Hawkeye Radio Network. From View Rooftop in Iowa City, you're listening to Hawk Talk with Kirk Ferentz. We'll break down Iowa, Indiana football from here on out, right up until 8 o'clock, and take your questions or comments on Twitter, on Facebook, via email, on the U.S. Cellular text line. We'll give you that number when we come back after we take this time out. This is Hawk Talk with Coach Ferentz from Learfield.
Hello, Hawkeye fans. This is Bruce Gerleman, and I own Jethro's Barbecue. Have you heard the news? It's really big news. Jethro's Barbecue is now open in Coralville. That's right, across from the Hawkeye softball diamonds on the Coralville Strip. Jethro's is your game day headquarters. Call ahead and order your tailgate barbecue from Jethro's. Before the game, during the game, after the game, stop in Jethro's and eat my amazing slow smoked wings and my world-famous baby back ribs.
Iowa fans, with US Mode from U.S. Cellular, you can keep your eye on the game, not on your screen. Whether you're inside the stadium, tailgating in the lots, or listening to the game at home, U.S. Cellular wants you to focus on genuine connections with your family, friends, and fellow Hawkeye fans. That means at game time, you should do less growing and more cheering. So eliminate distractions and build connections by setting your phone to US Mode, because game day is for cheering on the Hawkeyes. Go Hawks! U.S. Cellular, built for us.
Hello, Iowa. Here's a promise. Wherever you are in this great state, University of Iowa Healthcare is here for you, even if you never walk through our doors. Educating, caring, leading research, sharing our expertise with all. Because we believe that UI Healthcare is here to make all of Iowa better. UI Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives. Visit uihealthcare.org.
The silly moments, the proud moments, even the hard moments. They're what make life remarkable. And they're why Wellmark Blue Cross and Blue Shield is here for every moment. Committed to making healthcare better, more affordable, with more choices for care. And service and coverage that give you peace of mind no matter what comes your way. So you can show up for every tender moment, every brave moment, and every wouldn't miss it for the world moment, knowing that Blue is here for you. Go to Wellmark.com/every moment to find a plan right for you.
You asked for all the extreme internet performance at an all-in price, and we listened. Get 1 gig internet with a 2-year price lock and everything included. Unlimited data for non-stop streaming, powerful Wi-Fi for enhanced coverage, built-in online threat protection, and internet equipment. All for just $65 a month for 2 years. It's the extreme 1 gig internet deal you asked for. Call 844-4FASTER or visit extreme.com for details. Offer available to new customers only. Price doesn't include one-time charges, tax, and government fees.
Hawkeye fans, elevate your game day with the Kennick Premium Tailgate presented by Navigate Wellbeing Solutions. Imagine your own 10x10 tent and prime parking pads, all inside Krause Family Plaza, the closest tailgating to the stadium. Enjoy the energy, the atmosphere, and the convenience of being just steps away from kickoff. Secure your Kennick Premium Tailgate today at HawkeyeSports.com/tailgate. Make every game day unforgettable with the Kennick Premium Tailgate presented by Navigate Wellbeing Solutions.
Welcome back to Hawk Talk from View Rooftop, downtown Iowa City. We're on the 12th floor of View Rooftop, or the Hilton Garden Inn, I should say. It's a beautiful setting. The sun is setting, speaking of setting, and it's a beautiful panorama of Johnson County and downtown Iowa City this evening. They have an outdoor patio. You're well protected by plexiglass windows. Inside, it's comfy and coasty air conditioning. If that's your thing, we've got half a dozen gigantic flat screens for you to watch not only our show here on Hawk Talk, thanks to KCRG Channel 9.2, but your favorite game is on somewhere, and they can find it for you. So don't forget, on game day, you're welcome to join the staff here for food, fare, beverages. Just call 319-519-4650, 319-519-4650. We're going to hear an interview with our Matt Randazzo, who tracked down Jackson Rexroth, the Cedar Rapids Xavier product, who had the big interception that sealed the deal for the Hawkeyes out at Rutgers last week. But let's go to Randy is in Eldridge on Twitter, at Gary Dolphin. He says, how creative can a team be in releasing 100% accurate depth charts? Yeah, good luck on that one, Randy. Depth charts each week. Is it considered unethical to list one starter and have someone else start in his place on game day to confuse an upcoming opponent? Well, number one, no, it's not unethical. Everybody does it. It's not really going to confuse an upcoming opponent because they've looked at 10, 12 games of video, Randy, either from the previous year or from the current season that they're in. So they pretty well have an idea. I mean, unless the guy is a breakthrough walk-on and he's replacing an All-American who's injured, yeah, they would notice that on tape, especially if he played the previous week. So depth charts, they're usually out Tuesday, Wednesday of game week. A lot can happen in 3 days, but it's a good question, good comment. It's more so, I think, for the media and for people like us who want to get we know who the superstars are on each and every team. But I want to know the guys that I haven't memorized names and numbers, like the backup offensive lineman or defensive lineman or the third-string linebackers, because you're just an injury away from getting in there. I also use the two deeps a lot for special teams, particularly the kickers and the punters, just to reacquaint myself. It's not so tough in the Big Ten because from year to year the names don't change a whole heck of a lot if they're underclassmen. Last year's starters are probably going to be this year's starters if they're still in the thick of things. I just want to make sure that that's what I use mainly for the two deeps. On game day, certainly I use those with my spotter, John Swisher, to keep track of who makes the tackles, who may have deflected a pass at the line of scrimmage, who may have recovered a fumble, who got the sack. All those things are important. We try to be as accurate as we possibly can. We're not 100% accurate, just like the depth charts or the two deeps are never 100% accurate. Okay, Clint on Twitter. I would love to hear Coach Ferentz give his all-time starting offensive line. That's a good one. Clint, I don't know that Kirk will do that. He doesn't like to play favorites, but I think you can pretty well figure out position by position who would be on the line. Let me see. If I were to give you my opinion, in the 28 years I've been watching Iowa football from underneath this headset, certainly Robert Gallery would be at a tackle. My guards would be Brandon Sheriff and Marshall Yonda, and this is, of course, with no disrespect to anybody who's ever played offensive line at Iowa, because we've had so doggone many great ones. The center, hard to pick against Tyler Linderbaum, but, Bruce Nelson, there's so many good ones at every position. You know, I'd have to go with Tyler Linderbaum. Right tackle. Well, you know what? Tristan Wirfs could play anywhere he wanted along the offensive line, so that would be my starting five, with so many Hall of Famers backing those guys up. So I'd have Linderbaum at center, Tristan Wirfs at right tackle, Robert Gallery at left tackle, Brandon Sheriff and Marshall Yanda would be the guards. Now, who's going to try and outdo me on that five? I'm sure I'm missing somebody, but that's okay. All right? But I'll ask Coach his favorite five. Let's go to Facebook. Dan in Dubuque, I read where Iowa is the only school to have a consensus All-American in each of the past 6 seasons. Who would you think might keep that streak alive in 2025 for the Hawkeyes? Yeah, you're right about the only school to have a consensus All-American in each of the last 6 seasons. Now, if you're wondering what that is, I think there are 5 reporting All-American media outlets, Football Writers, AP, UPI, and a couple others, that if a young man was to make every one of those, that is a consensus All-American. Jay Higgins, as an example, would have been last year's selection. I think Jack Campbell maybe the year before, or 2 years before. But Iowa's had its generous share of consensus All-Americans. I think we're up around 30 right now. So who would you think might keep that streak alive in 2025? Well, Xavier Wampa's having a heck of a year. I don't know if he'd be consensus All-American on defense. Aaron Graves certainly is on almost every watch list in the defensive line. Llewellyn and Herkett are outstanding defensive ends, but consensus All-American, it's such a rare level for guys like Cooper DeJean and players of that ilk. Kirk is now coming into the building, so we'll get his comments on that. Dan in Dubuque, I don't think he's going to mention who he thinks might be a consensus All-American. Certainly in the offensive line, you've got some All-American candidates. Logan Jones would be one. Jennings Dunker would be another. But good question, good comment, good question. I want to go to Jackson Rexroth, the outstanding young linebacker who plays the cash position. He'll share that with Jackson, or with Zach Lutmer and Cohen Ontringer when he comes out of the game. Jackson is starting role at that Leo side linebacker. He came up with the big intersection. What a interception! Great play by him as he belly flopped to the ground and cradled the ball in his arms after Max Llewellyn got the hit on Rutgers quarterback Ethan Kaliak-Manis last Saturday night. Perhaps it didn't seal the deal, but it certainly put the Hawkeyes in a great position to win the game, as Rutgers had to burn all their timeouts and the Hawks were able to run the clock out. Rexroth talked with our Matt Randazzo yesterday.
I don't want to bury the lead. The Iowa Hawkeyes hadn't had any takeaways in the first 3 games, and out at Rutgers, you guys finally get that takeaway, and it comes in the hands of yourself. Kind of talk about that, not just doing it for your team, but also your team coming up with that big play, that turnover when you guys needed it the most.
Yeah, I mean, I just I think these earlier games, our defense, we've been playing fast, we've been playing hard. A lot of the opportunities have been there. We just haven't capitalized on them. So for the ball to come our way that time, I think it's going to lead to more and more, right? And I mean, our defense, we're always looking for those opportunities because, we know how big takeaways are for the game. So it's good to get that first one, especially in that moment, like I came down with it, yes, but Max is the guy who hit it. It was a team play. And I mean, I think, just in that moment, the team, we needed something. We needed something to get going for our defense. So I'm glad that it happened, and I'm glad how it helps lead to that win. And the offense, they get that ball right there and they go punch it in, and that's just team football. That's what Coach Ferentz is always talking about. The defense complementing the offense complementing the defense, special teams complementing both. So I think that was it was just Iowa football. Just in general. Yep.
I got to ask you, that ball's fluttering there in the air. It wasn't an easy one. What's going through your mind when you see that thing fluttering and it didn't come to your lap? I mean, you had to earn it a little bit to get it, didn't you?
Yeah, definitely had to make a play on it. I mean, I saw it up there and I was like, if I don't catch this, it's it's going to be embarrassing. It wouldn't have been, but, you know, I had to bring it in. And my other thought was, you know, it's a diving catch. You know, I got to get those elbows in or else the ball's going to bounce off the ground against my chest. It won't be an interception. So I'm just glad that, you know, I saw the ball and just had to go get it. And I'm glad I came down with it. I'm glad that Max tipped that thing up. I mean, it was fluttering up there forever. So he gave us a chance. So it was, yeah.
Jackson, you look at opportunities, and I know your schedule's full of opportunities when you get them, but this is the latest opportunity. It's a big one. How do you guys look at this game? Because it is a huge opportunity in front of the home fans on homecoming against a nationally ranked team to make a mark, maybe get a signature victory here at home.
Yeah, I mean, we try to take every game and look at it, like it's, never overlook any opponent, and then, in this game, we're clearly an underdog, but, that just puts a bigger chip on our shoulder and allows us to do something that, we trained for since January to, win those big games, win those games that, they're going to be hard fought ones. And then it being in Kinnick, I mean, that's huge, right? Because our fans are, all the away games I've ever been to, nobody's been as loud as Kinnick. We got the loudest fans. They actually do give us a huge competitive edge. If you get somebody down in that north end zone, they're going to be, they've caused false starts, our own fans, and that's huge for us. So, just the opportunity to be able to go out there and play a good team like Indiana and just compete and fight, that's worth everything.
Sharp young guy Jackson Rexroth talking with our Matt Randazzo. You can hear that interview in its entirety on Saturday afternoon during our first hour of the Hawkeye pregame show with Matt Randazzo. Kirk Ferentz has settled in and joined us. First takeaway of the I had forgotten that. I mean, usually you're so used 4 games into the season to having 3 or 4 takeaways by Phil Parker's defense. That doesn't take anything away from the way they played, and especially that second half the other night.
Yeah, it really it broke the drought first and foremost. And to your point, yeah, normally we have a few along the way, but it's just been one of those things. And it was just it was kind of a classic deal where we got good pressure. I think somebody tipped or hit the quarterback a little bit, and ball's up in the air. When the ball goes up in the air, it's usually a good thing for the defense, bad for the offense. But Jackson made a great play on the ball, and certainly good to break the ice there and get the takeaway. And couldn't happen to a better guy. Jackson's just been a tremendous young guy in our program, a really good student. Played the Xavier program up there under Coach Schulte, and a guy who's just been a great special teams guy, and now has moved into a starting role and playing really at a high level.
That Cedar Rapids Xavier pipeline's been pretty good for the Hawks over the years, hasn't it?
Yeah, we've done okay there, that's for sure, and no big surprise. It's a great program. Dwayne's done a great job forever up there, and didn't hurt that a couple of his sons came here as well. But yeah, they've been really good to us, and Jackson's just like I said, a really good person, good football player, and my guess is he'll probably be a pretty good lawyer down the road. I think that's where he wants to head into.
Coach Schulte, hi to the coach, the Hall of Fame coach tonight up at Cedar Rapids Xavier. Coach, we're going to take a break here, but the Rexroth, Max Llewellyn has been making play after play after play, year after year after year, and he looped around that left side and got to the quarterback, Caliac Manis, forced the wobble pass, and Jackson, with great presence of mind, a belly flop there and grab it off the turf. But Llewellyn has just been, you knew that when you recruited him. He had a high motor, and he certainly is. He's not running on empty, is he?
Yeah, that hasn't changed at all. He's always been a guy that just has high energy, plays really hard. And but it's been fun to watch him develop as a total player. Was more of a pass rush guy for us the last couple of years, and last year though he started to really kind of shape up his game, and right now plays well in all phases, whether it's against the run, you name it, and then certainly on third down. He's tough to block out. He was getting a lot of double attention from the back or the tight end the other night. Not a big surprise. So people have noticed him. He'll continue to face those kinds of disadvantages, if you will. But if they are doing that to him, that opens up opportunity for other guys as well. So Max is a high energy guy, a great guy, and a great team guy.
Bigger version of Joe Evans. He is. He knows how to find the quarterback. All right, as we go to break now, Dan and Dubuque had checked in on Facebook at Facebook.com/Voice of the Hawks. I read where Iowa was the only school to have a consensus All-American in each of the past 6 seasons. Who would you think might keep that streak alive in 2025? That isn't the one I wanted. trying to find the one. I'm not going to put you on the spot.
Yeah, time will tell. There.
Yeah. Let's hope over the next time will tell. That's a good answer. I can't find it now. Maybe it disappeared here. But we wanted to know. Here we go. Clint would love to hear Coach Ferentz give his all-time Iowa starting offensive line.
Oh, no. I can't do that.
No,
yeah,
I
did.
Tough. I did.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, so I got you off the hook there.
Thank you.
Gallery and Worse at the tackles.
It's a good start.
Yeah. Sheriff and Yonda at the guards. And, I'm trying to pick generations here, but I could easily go with Bruce Nelson and a few others, but I went with Tyler Linderbaum at center. Do you approve?
Yeah, just but you're leaving off guys like Eric Steinbach. I mean,
no, I know who I'm leaving off.
It's let's just say we'd have it too deep.
Yeah, well,
leave it at that.
I already mentioned that, Coach.
Which never happens in the real world.
No. We've got, especially in the offensive line, probably 30 or 40 candidates that would be. How about a guy named Brian Bulaga?
Yeah, he was pretty good too.
He wasn't bad
from the day he walked in here.
So there you go, Clint. We did our best. I may have made some enemies tonight, but that's the way it goes. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back with the rest of your thoughts, comments on Facebook, Twitter, the U.S. Cellular text line, and you can email us your question at hawktalk at HawkeyeRadioNetwork.com. This is Hawk Talk with Coach Ferentz from View Rooftop in Iowa City.
Hey Hawkeyes, this is Coach Ferentz. Support Iowa's corn farmers by pumping up with unleaded 88, the clear choice at the pump to fuel your drive to the game. Unleaded 88 is cheaper, greener, and homegrown. You might think Iowa just grows corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa. Hi Hawk fans, this is Hawkeye coach Kirk Ferentz. Hard work, resilience, commitment. That's what it takes to succeed, whether you're battling on the football field or working the farm fields. With fewer than 5% of Iowans making a living off the land, the Iowa Hawkeyes are proud to stand with Iowa's farm families who work hard every day to feed and fuel yours with dedication and care. For 40 years, our players have proudly worn the ANF logo on their helmets. It's not just a symbol, it's an important reminder that farmers are the backbone of Iowa and the heart of our country. Join the Hawkeyes and the Iowa Farm Bureau as we celebrate 40 years of America Needs Farmers on ANF Game Day, October 18th. And don't miss your shot to win the ultimate ANF fan package. 4 reserve seats, sideline access, and an autographed football. Enter now at americaneedsfarmers.org. Thank you for standing with Iowa's farmers. We'll see you at the game.
How do you become America's best-selling brand? Let's break it down. Innovative tech means smarter and safer driving. Intelligent all-wheel drive will keep you ready for anything. And built Ford tough trucks will always get the job done. Plus, come into your local Ford store today and get super low APR financing, big cash back, and great lease offers on Ford's full line of cars, trucks, and SUVs. That's Ford, and that's how you become America's best-selling brand. Sales claim based on calendar year sales.
Can you think of anything that costs the same today as it did 10 years ago? There isn't much. That is, unless you're a Mid-American Energy customer. Thanks to all the renewable energy we're generating, our customers pay nearly the same rate for electricity today as they did back when we were all singing, "Call Me Maybe." And with Mid-American making even more investments in clean energy, you can count on enjoying those same affordable rates for the next decade. Now that's obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Cancer doesn't care. It doesn't care what you look like, how old you are, what you do, or where you live. We do. University of Iowa Healthcare is doing more to beat cancer than anyone in the state. From second opinions to life-saving treatments that happen here first. We lead the way in research, training, and care because we believe that UI Healthcare is here to make all of Iowa better. UI Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives. Visit uihealthcare.org.
You don't have to go to the game to get a game program. You can download it now by visiting the game day page on HawkeyeSports.com. That's right, the game program is now digital and it's free. So check it out. Get the roster, the stats, and fascinating stories about today's matchup. Just go to HawkeyeSports.com and click on Game Day.
We are back at View Rooftop in downtown Iowa City. Thank you for joining us tonight on the Hawkeye Radio Network. And here live at View Rooftop, Coach, we've got a lot of students roaming through here tonight, some on assignment in the journalism department. But it's homecoming, and they're all out downtown. I mean, it's a beautiful day today in Iowa City and Johnson County, and a lot of contests, treasure hunts, games going on during homecoming week, and it's just a great atmosphere to be a part of.
Yeah, it looks like it's been a beautiful fall. It looks like a beautiful week in front of us as well. So it'll be really, I'm sure, a very festive environment. It always is during the homecoming activities, and then pertaining to Saturday and Friday even, it's really, I think, great that we got the 85 Rose Bowl team back for a big reunion, and that's really special too.
Terrific.
40-year deal. So what a special team that was. So many outstanding people, and I know they're all looking forward to it. I think it's over 100 signed up. So I'm sure that number will keep growing.
And why not? Everybody will recall the number 1 versus number 2 game. You were there that day as the offensive line coach of the Iowa Hawkeyes. It was an amazing scene that Houtland kicks the field goal to end the game. It was a wet, rainy, not a miserable day. I mean, that's Big Ten football.
It's perfect.
Yeah,
perfect.
It's perfect, right? In the upper Midwest. Hayden Fry always said come November in the upper Midwest, when that wind's howling and the ground is as hard as the sidewalk you walk on, you better be able to run the football. Iowa never had an issue with running the football, but Chuck Long was pretty important too that day.
He played one great game. It was an unbelievable game in that last drive. To kick the field goal was certainly memorable, and it was a really well-balanced team, good in all phases, and but most importantly, just great guys involved, and I think that's what we all remember certainly. And you bring up that game. I don't know, and I think if you probably asked everybody, coaches, players on that team, if any of us have been in a better environment, football environment, since that time, which is kind of depressing actually. So 40 years later, but that was really special. Just to have a 1 and 2 team match up that late into the season. That's rare. And then secondly, it was just a really tremendous thing for Iowa City, for the university, and for the entire state. So. It's going to be really great to have all those guys back. Unfortunately, I won't get to spend much time with them, but I know they're going to have a great time, and they'll get together Friday night. Ben Hansen does a great job with those reunions and with our former players, the legacy group that he's got started. So I know they're all looking forward to it, and hopefully they're not as full of energy as they were 40 years ago, so they won't be breaking curfew and all those types of things. So we'll see, but it'll be great to have them honored in Kinnick on Saturday.
That Legacy Club is special, too. They tailgate every home game, led by Mark Mitchell, Hap Peterson. They do a great job of keeping the guys together and inviting them back. I mean, that doesn't happen everywhere.
It doesn't, and Ben Hansen really kind of gave it organization, structure and organization. It's probably longer than I think I was going to say 8 years ago. It's probably been 10 or 12, but it's grown with each year. The reception's been fantastic, and I think the fact that we've only had 2 head coaches since 1978 helps that. Everybody feels like, they're part of this. And to that point, like guys before 78 are part of this too. So it's really fantastic. And again, just special to have that 85 team recognized and honored.
Iowa versus Michigan. It's not often that Eric Parsegian and Brent Musburger came to town, but they did that weekend, and that was quite the scene indeed. And the Hawks won it on a Rob Houtland field goal. Let's look at email, hawktalk at HawkeyeRadioNetwork.com. Brian in Iowa City. Coach, is your offensive playbook significantly different since Mark Granowski has entered the program and provides different skill sets compared to previous years?
Yeah, I don't know if it's significantly different, but you always try to, bend towards the strength of your players. And then Mark was out in the spring, missed the spring, so we had a good feel of who he was, what he was. But having a chance now to have him actually playing and seeing him in game competition, those types of things, certainly, I think, Tim has tried to tailor-make some things that fit his skill set. I can't remember us ever having a quarterback that can run like he does, and he's our biggest back, first of all, as a running back. But he's also obviously a good thrower, and so it gives us a run-pass threat that way, and that is a little bit unique because of his unique skill set. So we're definitely going to try to take advantage of that without being, reckless or, overdoing it.
I was thinking about that question when it was sent in here on our email. Brad Banks was so shifty and could change directions. Mark's more of a straight-ahead fullback type runner. Drew Tate could scramble with the best of them. I mean, Ricky Stanzi could even escape the pocket. I remember Nathan Chandler rumbling, 60 yards at the Outback Bowl, and finding the end zone right before halftime. In Tampa, you've had other good running quarterbacks, but Mark brings great skills in terms of throwing the ball and running the football, and it shows in the stats. You're getting 180 yards rushing and or 180 passing and 220 rushing. You take that every week.
Yeah, definitely would. That's a good thing, and it's one more way to put pressure on a defensive team. I think a quarterback that can run and also run and throw is it makes it tough to defend. It's like playing against 12 guys sometimes, and we've been in that scenario before. So really good, and you mentioned a lot of guys. C.J. Beathard was elusive as a runner too, and so everybody plays to their strengths, and we're just glad Mark's here, and he's done a really nice job here in 4 games.
All right, good stuff. We're going to come back, take a break here on Hawk Talk with Coach Ferentz. We're at View Rooftop, and we're sponsored by Steel. Get your yard ready for the fall. Fall is here with the proven power of Steel, S-T-I-H-L, but it means steel. From cleanups to cutbacks, we've got the tools to help you win the weekend. Steel, proud supporter of the Iowa Hawkeyes. We'll come back, talk about our University of Iowa Stead Family Children's Hospital kid captain this week. He is Jackson Engstrom of Waterloo. We'll talk more about Jackson and more Hawk Talk with Coach Ferentz when we come back to View Rooftop, courtesy of Learfield.
Hi, Hawk fans. This is Hawkeye coach Kirk Ferentz. Hard work, resilience, commitment. That's what it takes to succeed, whether you're battling on the football field or working the farm fields. With fewer than 5% of Iowans making a living off the land, the Iowa Hawkeyes are proud to stand with Iowa's farm families who work hard every day to feed and fuel yours with dedication and care. For 40 years, our players have proudly worn the ANF logo on their helmets. It's not just a symbol, it's an important reminder that farmers are the backbone of Iowa and the heart of our country. Join the Hawkeyes and the Iowa Farm Bureau as we celebrate 40 years of America Needs Farmers on ANF Game Day, October 18th. And don't miss your shot to win the ultimate ANF fan package. 4 reserve seats, sideline access, and an autographed football. Enter now at americaneedsfarmers.org. Thank you for standing with Iowa's farmers. We'll see you at the game.
Iowa fans, with US Mode from US Cellular, you can keep your eye on the game, not on your screen. Whether you're inside the stadium, tailgating in the lots, or listening to the game at home, US Cellular wants you to focus on genuine connections with your family, friends, and fellow Hawkeye fans. That means at game time, you should do less scrolling and more cheering. So eliminate distractions and build connections by setting your phone to US Mode, because game day is for cheering on the Hawkeyes. Go Hawks! US Cellular, built for us.
How do you become America's best-selling brand? Let's break it down. Innovative tech means smarter and safer driving. Intelligent all-wheel drive will keep you ready for anything. And built Ford tough trucks will always get the job done. Plus, come into your local Ford store today and get super low APR financing, big cash back, and great lease offers on Ford's full line of cars, trucks, and SUVs. That's Ford, and that's how you become America's best-selling brand. Sales claim based on calendar year sales.
Hello, Iowa. Here's a promise. Wherever you are in this great state, University of Iowa Healthcare is here for you, even if you never walk through our doors. Educating, caring, leading research, sharing our expertise with all. Because we believe that UI Healthcare is here to make all of Iowa better. UI Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives. Visit uihealthcare.org.
We love it when the Hawkeyes do their thing, because if there's anyone who can appreciate building a legacy, it's John Deere. We've been growing our team since 1837, recruiting the best thinkers, doers, and makers to craft innovations that outpace the competition. Because whether it's cultivating the earth with a tractor or reshaping it with a 40-ton excavator, the machines we build are building America. Nothing runs like a Deere.
We're back on Hawk Talk live from View Rooftop in downtown Iowa City at the beautiful Hilton Garden Inn. Plan your game day. If you're not going to Kinnick, this is the next best place to be. at View Rooftop. Call for reservations for our 2:30 kickoff with Indiana on Saturday, 319-519-4650. 319-519-4650. Coach, I want to talk about the Hoosiers in a minute here, but let's salute our this week's University of Iowa Stead Family Children's Hospital kid captain. He is Jackson Engstrom of Waterloo. Jackson was just 5 when he began losing vision. He was later diagnosed with Batten's disease. That's a rare and fatal neurological disorder. As you can imagine, he's faced incredible challenges, including emergency surgeries that saved his life after a severe infection. And today, Jackson continues his care at UI Stead Family Children's Hospital and inspires those around him with his strength and determination. Just 5 when he started to go through all these trials and tribulations, and we got a great shot of him up in his wheelchair here on our KCRG Channel 9.2 visual. Look at that smile. I mean, he is a fighter, and he is going to survive, and he's going to move forward.
Well, it's going to be great having him this weekend. And, again, just salute to everybody involved with the Kid Captain program and most importantly, the families, obviously the patients, and then the people at Stead Family Hospital. It's just amazing work that they do. Just, it's all inspirational.
It sure is. It certainly inspires the Hawkeye football players as well, not only this week but throughout the season. So, Jackson, we look forward to seeing you Saturday at Kinnick Stadium on the turf. And I can tell you right now, if you don't know, it's an automatic standing O for our kid captains, and that emotional wave at the end of the first quarter is just a part of the deal. How about the Rutgers had a record crowd Friday night for the game at SHI Stadium in Piscataway, and at the end of the first quarter, nearly the entire crowd with their phones lit up stood up and waved to that southeast corner.
Yeah, very nice. Nice gesture on their part, certainly. And, we appreciate that greatly. And that's happened to several places when we travel. But, kudos to them for the, just being aware there and doing a great job. And great to see the fans get involved as well. Hopefully you got a little feel for what a special tradition that is.
All right, Coach, where do we start with this Indiana offense? How about the quarterback, Fernando Mendoza, who's thrown for he's 25 yards shy of 1,000 passing, and we're just 4 games into the season. 77% completion ratio with 14 touchdowns. No interceptions. That might be the most amazing stat. He's thrown 99 passes in 4 games and not 1 pick.
Yeah, what's his completion percentage?
77.
I was going to say 90%. Seems like it. It feels like it. So, yeah, he's just an outstanding player. He's got good size. He's tall, 6'4", 6'5", and great vision of the field. And, basically can make every throw they've got. And then the other part of the equation is they've got a really good team around him. But he is certainly an outstanding quarterback, maybe as good as we'll see. And, we've already seen a couple good guys. So he's a real threat. But they've pretty much got weapons and threats at every position right now. They're started up front. They're a big offensive line, very physical. Lost a couple guys, but they've got transfers. A kid from Colorado starting at the right tackle, and Notre Dame's, who was a 2-year starter at Notre Dame's, playing center for them. So they've got a very veteran group up front. They're big. They're physical. Tough to beat those guys. 2 outstanding backs. One we played against at Maryland last year. And 2 good tight ends. The one tight end took a screen pass for whatever it was, 60 yards, 50, 60 yards last week, and it was game over and right before the half. And the receivers are, I'm not going to say they're as good as the guys at Ohio State last year, but it seems like, that kind of comparison. They've got 3 really good receivers, as does Ohio State every year since I've been alive, I think. But these guys, all 3 of these guys are really good players. I think one's homegrown, one's a transfer from Clemson or somewhere, and the other guy came with him from JMU. So he's got the height, number 13.
Yeah, well, E.J. Williams is the transfer from Clemson. Omar Cooper has got homegrown. 19 catches. He's from Lawrence North High School in Indianapolis. And then Elijah Surratt, he came last year with Coach Signetti from James Madison.
Yep.
And he's got 24 catches already. So, yeah, the tight end, Riley Nowakowski was at Wisconsin.
Yep.
You mentioned that offensive line. I think they're really improved in the O-line. Pat Coogan, who started at Notre Dame a year ago, is at center. Khalil Benson is at the right tackle. Carter Smith came from Liberty College at left tackle. And they've got Drew Evans, a transfer from Wisconsin. Got a couple former Badgers who have come down the road to Bloomington. So it's, I guess the point in all this, he had 50-some transfers come in with him most of them from James Madison when he got to Bloomington last year. He's got 28 this year, and most of them are high Division I level veteran players.
Yeah, they've done a great job in that regard, and part of it, a lesson for everybody, especially people that recruit or evaluate recruits sometimes. A lot of their best players, in my opinion, came from JMU. So, clearly they were not Division I or, Power 5 school recruits. JMU is a Division I program and a really
and a very
good one.
Strong one, FCS.
Yeah, very good one. But, like two of the best defensive linemen they got right now is number 6 and then the guy inside. I believe he's 98.
He's
95. He's a really good
Kamara and Tyreek Tucker.
Both those guys came from there, and they're really good football players. I mentioned 13, same way. So, they I think that really helped them build this thing fast. And then they've got guys from other schools, as you alluded to. So they've done a really good job of putting a roster together. And then most importantly, and this is, we didn't play these guys last year, but just watching them on exchange film on our first bye week, I remember watching them against somebody, and that's when I noticed number 13. I was like, oh, boy, hope that guy's a senior, because, and he's not. He is this year. But anyway, they had a bunch of good players, and but they're well coached, very well coached, all 3 phases. So credit goes to everybody there.
Haven't played the Hoosiers in several years, but I remember that Friday night game. Michael Penix came in here at quarterback. He got knocked out by injury, was coming off knee surgery, got hurt again in the Iowa game, and the Hawks rolled it up in the second half. And one going away. But my point there is they've had really good quarterbacks for seemingly forever, guys.
They
who
really
can throw
have.
the ball.
I go back to the 80s and name a couple they had too. So they've had some really good guys through the years, and they've done a good job. I mean, they're to your point, the other strange thing is we haven't played for. There's a little gap in there where we haven't played each other, and but that's college football too. So bottom line is we get to you watch them from afar last year, watching them on exchange film, and got an impression about the program, and then obviously they went to the college playoffs. So enough said there. I mean, just a really good team. And then, the obvious thing is this year they were down 7-0 for, I don't know, like 5 minutes, something like that. And ever since they've been, out front of everybody they've played. And not only out front, but out front decisively. So it's a very impressive football team.
They're averaging 31 points a game through their first 4 wins at 4-0.
I'm going to say the first quarter, because that's what it looks like when you watch film.
Well, 60 against Illinois, I wasn't prepared for that. I don't know about you, but, Brett may not have the defense he had a year ago, at least on balance, but he has built that thing into a pretty good program down there.
All I know is, the talk was Illinois, and they were a top 10 team, and a lot of positive talk about them, and well deserved. They've got a very veteran team, and so for Indiana to do that to a good team is, get your attention real quickly, and it pretty much ruined Saturday night for me. I don't know about you.
Well, it didn't ruin it for me. I watched it. I mean, the fact that the Hawks won on Friday, I had a pretty good weekend.
Yeah, I'm not complaining about that, but it was going good until about whatever time, 8 o'clock on
you had to
Saturday.
Go do the scouting tape, right? I get it. All right, we'll take a break, come back with more. And Coach Ferentz from View Rooftop and the Hawkeye Radio Network back after this.
Tournament Club of Iowa, designed by golf legend Arnold Palmer. TCI is his only signature course in the state. TCI is a public course offering a challenging yet enticing experience for golfers of all levels and is managed by Kaler Golf. Cap off your round with breathtaking views and a delicious meal at the TCI Bar and Grill. Looking for a unique setting for your wedding party or outing? Look no further than the newly renovated clubhouse at TCI. Visit tcofiowa.com to book your tee time today.
Fall's the season for game plans and for powering through your to-do list with Steel.
Whether you're mulching leaves or trimming back before winter, Steel tools help you finish strong. Trusted by pros, built for you. Steel, proud supporter of the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Cancer doesn't care. It doesn't care what you look like, how old you are, what you do, or where you live. We do. University of Iowa Healthcare is doing more to beat cancer than anyone in the state. From second opinions to life-saving treatments that happen here first. We lead the way in research, training, and care because we believe that UI Healthcare is here to make all of Iowa better. UI Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives. Visit uihealthcare.org.
At Mid-American Energy, our 1.6 million customers depend on our energy 24/7. That's why we work 24/7 to deliver the safe, reliable energy you need. To keep our 99.9% reliability record, we're enhancing our technology, improving resiliency, and investing in critical infrastructure. We're generating power from all available resources to cover any increases in demand. And we're innovating to ensure you always have the energy you need. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Your Iowa Hawkeye volleyball team is serving up Big Ten excitement this fall at Extreme Arena.
Whittingstall catches the back line. The Hawks win it 25-21, and they take it in straight sets.
With fast-paced action and fun for the whole family, Iowa volleyball is the perfect way to spend an evening. Season tickets are on sale now. You won't want to miss out.
And that'll go for a block.
For more information on tickets and the 2025 season, check out HawkeyeSports.com.
Iowa fans, with US Mode from US Cellular, you can keep your eye on the game, not on your screen. Whether you're inside the stadium, tailgating in the lots, or listening to the game at home, US Cellular wants you to focus on genuine connections with your family, friends, and fellow Hawkeye fans. That means at game time, you should do less growling and more cheering. So eliminate distractions and build connections by setting your phone to US Mode, because game day is for cheering on the Hawkeyes. Go Hawks! US Cellular, built for us.
Hawk Talk with Kirk Ferentz returns live from View Rooftop. Thank you so much for not only being here tonight to the live audience, but listening around the Midwest and the country on the Hawkeye Radio Network. We're sponsored by our friends at View Rooftop each and every week from 6:30 until 8 o'clock. Please, well, we won't be here next week. That's right. It's bye week. After the Hawks and Bloomington are at Indiana this weekend, of course, at Kinnick Stadium. We will not be here next Wednesday night because of the bye week, but please come back the following Wednesday. And we'll preview the Wisconsin game, talk a little bit about this game coming up on Saturday at 2:30 over at Kinnick Stadium. That doesn't mean you don't. You can experience the fair and the camaraderie each and every day of View Rooftop in downtown Iowa City. It's a high-energy rooftop bar with spectacular views of Johnson County and the Iowa City skyline, featuring a distinctly modern escape filled with a unique outdoor design. View Rooftop, located on the 12th floor of the Hilton Garden Inn in Iowa City. Specials every Hawkeye football game day. View Rooftop provides a memorable experience of food, music, and fantastic views of the Iowa City skyline. Call 319-519-4650. 319-519-4650 to set up your View Rooftop reservation. Coach, got a comment here from Jalen Watson, one of your young defensive stars of the future. He talked about how great it will be to have the crowd in Kinnick on their side this Saturday.
Yeah, I think, playing in Kinnick first and foremost is one of the best experience we have. I think that's an advantage to us. So going out there, be able to get three and outs, I think that will get juice to the offense, let them go out there, a lot less pressure, go out there, just execute. So, yeah, it's definitely our job to go out there and get 3 and outs for offense.
And Jalen Watson talked about the game plan, or at least the thought, in defending quarterback Mendoza of Indiana.
Yeah, he's a great quarterback. He makes his reads pretty fast, get the ball out fast. He's pretty accurate, so, we got to try to put pressure on him, make him a little bit uncomfortable, get in his face so we can try to stop him.
Phil's been picking his spots for Jalen Watson. He got in there for a few plays the other night. Boy, I like him. He's got great sense back there.
He's a tremendous young guy. He really did a nice job last year especially on special teams. And one of his jobs I thought he excelled at was defending the gunners on the punt team. So when they punt to us, there's always two guys out wide, and it's a tough chore to have to. Usually those guys are guys that can run and are aggressive. Tough chore to have to track those guys all across the field. And he really did a good job of that last year as a freshman when he did play, which was limited, but did a really good job that way too. He's a really smart young guy and smart football player on top. So he's really, I think, we watched him grow over the spring and had a good camp. We'll probably work him into the rotation as we move forward, and we play certainly multiple defensive back sets also. So he's going to get plenty of opportunity this year, and really glad he's on our team. Just first-class young guy.
And that said, boy, the X-Man Wampa had a terrific game the other night, but Lutmer, I think, had 3 pass breakups. Lutmer, Wampa, Antrinker, those guys in the middle with Lee and TJ on the outside, guys are paying dividends.
Yeah, they are. They're you think about Cohen, you think about Zach. Those guys don't have a lot of game experience as starters, so this is new territory for them. They're really good football players and guys that we think are going to have outstanding careers here. But the fact is that those guys hadn't played a lot of starters. Our 3 linebackers are in the same category. So it's a thing that excites me about that. I think we have a chance to really improve. I think we have improved in 4 weeks, and now this is the last game in this 5-game block. So to me, it's all about growth and improvement right now, and then doing the best we can each and every week to give ourselves a chance to win. So I just think a lot of those guys you mentioned are going to be playing better football here each and every week, and it's going to take that to beat Indiana because they're a really good team, as Jalen said, just an outstanding quarterback.
Coach, let's go to the U.S. Cellular text line at 319-853-8344. Keith is in Adel, the home of Niall Kinnick. Indiana's offense has shown a lot of speed so far. What are the keys for your defense and just trying to slow them down Saturday?
Yeah, I'll start. Let's go back to the quarterback. I'm not going to say it's impossible to get to him or sack him, but
he gets rid of the ball.
It's not easy because that ball comes out. There was a play in the Illinois game where it looks to me like they busted a protection. I think the back went where the line was going, and they let a backer from the left side just come through free. Quarterback looked like he had no idea it was coming. So, but that it's hard to bank on them making a mistake like that. That's not going to happen very often. So that's one of the few times I've seen him get hit from the throwing standpoint. So to that point, what you can't do is just let the receivers go where they want to go, and they've done a good job of that. And then you've also got to, I think, be aware of what they're trying to do conceptually. And there were some times last week in the game where the guys on defense didn't seem real aware and let those guys, get free and have some uncontested catches, or they've let them run a couple plays I'm thinking about in particular where they just let the receiver go exactly where he wanted to right from the start, and that's not a good recipe when you got a quarterback you can't get to and receivers that aren't disrupted. So we're going to have to figure out a way to kind of break that up a little bit, and then the other thing you have to do, they're going to complete passes. They're a good team. But last week there were a lot of yards after catches, and if we don't minimize that, it's going to be a long day. So, if they catch a ball, we just got to go tackle the guy and get him down there, not compound the issue. The 10-yard gain typically is not going to kill you, but when a 10-yarder becomes a 30-yarder, even a 25, those things really start to multiply fast. So that's what you can't do.
Yak, as we call it, yards after the catch. One more before we break here, one final time, Coach. Sue's up in Cedar Rapids. I know there are rules for college players in wearing mouth guards. I'm just curious why I see them bouncing and hanging from their face masks more than protecting their mouth and teeth.
Yeah,
Do they get away with that?
Yeah, I'm not trying to be a smart aleck, but I'm not sure what the rules are anymore half the time, I swear to God. We just covered that in a meeting today, not about the mouth guards.
Uh-huh.
I used to think you're supposed to wear knee pads too, but I haven't seen those in about 40 years. So there's a lot of things that are kind of, and quite frankly,
gray area.
Yeah, in my opinion, the officials, that should not be on their list of things to do. They got a hard enough job officiating the game, so let's just let them do that. But those are all fair questions, and bigger on my list would be targeting. Thought I kind of knew what that is, and I'm getting more confused by the day. So that's there were 2 plays in the game the other day.
Yeah.
Actually, one that really became an impactful play in the game as well. So there's a lot of gray area in that stuff, and it's again, the officials have a really tough job. I think all the crews in our conference do a great job working it, but sometimes we compound issues and make it a little tougher for them to do their jobs well. And wish we'd every now and then just kind of go back and clean some stuff up in terms of words and rules and all those types of things.
Sue, they are supposed to wear their mouth guards every play.
To. Yeah,
they want to take them out.
Advisable for sure.
Yeah, in between, when you see them smiling, they don't have any front teeth. Maybe they'll get the message. But I think most of them, for the most part, do wear their mouth guards. All right, back with our remaining moment or two with Coach in just a minute here from View Rooftop.
Can you think of anything that costs the same today as it did 10 years ago? There isn't much. That is, unless you're a Mid-American Energy customer. Thanks to all the renewable energy we're generating, our customers pay nearly the same rate for electricity today as they did back when we were all singing, "Call Me Maybe." And with Mid-American making even more investments in clean energy, you can count on enjoying those same affordable rates for the next decade. Now that's obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Iowa fans, with US Mode from US Cellular, you can keep your eye on the game, not on your screen. Whether you're inside the stadium, tailgating in the lots, or listening to the game at home, US Cellular wants you to focus on genuine connections with your family, friends, and fellow Hawkeye fans. That means at game time, you should do less growling and more cheering. So eliminate distractions and build connections by setting your phone to US Mode, because game day is for cheering on the Hawkeyes. Go Hawks! US Cellular, built for us.
Fall's the season for game plans and for powering through your to-do list with Steel. Whether you're mulching leaves or trimming back before winter, Steel tools help you finish strong. Trusted by pros, built for you. Steel, proud supporter of the Iowa Hawkeyes.
You asked for all the extreme internet performance at an all-in price, and we listened. Get 1 gig internet with a 2-year price lock and everything included. Unlimited data for non-stop streaming, powerful Wi-Fi for enhanced coverage, built-in online threat protection, and internet equipment. All for just $65 a month for 2 years. It's the extreme 1 gig internet deal you asked for. Call 844-4FASTER or visit extreme.com for details. Offer available to new customers only. Price doesn't include one-time charges, tax, and government fees.
Hello, Iowa. Here's a promise. Wherever you are in this great state, University of Iowa Healthcare is here for you, even if you never walk through our doors. Educating, caring, leading research, sharing our expertise with all. Because we believe that UI Healthcare is here to make all of Iowa better. UI Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives. Visit uihealthcare.org.
Got about a minute left here on Hawk Talk tonight. Coach, homecoming's always a special week. Good luck Saturday. Should be a great football game. Great atmosphere. It always is at Kinnick, and hopefully the Hawks are 2-0.
Yeah, we've tried night games. We've tried 11 o'clock. Now we're getting one at late afternoon slot, which is it's always a great one, So we're excited about the opportunity. Big challenge, and it's going to be great to be in Kinnick again.
See you then. We'll see you 2 weeks right back here at View, okay?
Appreciate it, Gary.
All right, Coach. Thanks. Kirk Ferentz. I'm Gary Dolphin. We've been brought to you tonight by John Deere, who loves to see the Hawks do their thing, because if anyone can appreciate building a legacy, it's Deere. They've been growing their winning team since 1837. Whether you're cultivating the earth with a tractor or reshaping it with a 40-ton excavator, nothing runs like a Deere, except that 40-ton Iowa offensive line. They'll be plowing downfield come Saturday. We'll see you at your tailgates over at Kinnick, Iowa, Indiana, 2:30. Our pregame coverage starts at 12:30 here on the Hawkeye Radio Network. Thanks to View Rooftop. Thank you, folks, for listening in tonight. Good night from Iowa City.
This has been Hawk Talk, brought to you by Steel. This fall, power up with Steel, a proud supporter of the Iowa Hawkeyes. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. U.S. Cellular, the official wireless partner of the Iowa Hawkeyes. U.S. Cellular, built for us. Iowa Corn. You might think Iowa just grows corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa. Brought to you by Iowa's corn farmers of the Iowa Corn Growers Association and the Iowa Corn Promotion Board. Also brought to you by your Iowa John Deere dealers. John Deere loves to see the Hawkeyes do their thing, because if anyone can appreciate building a legacy, it's Deere. By your local Ford dealers. University of Iowa Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives. Lennox and your local Lennox home comfort specialist, made right here in Iowa since 1895. And by Mid-American Energy. Mid-American Energy is proud to deliver affordable, reliable energy to you all season long. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Hawkeye Sports Network.